Get ready for the second edition of the Dominica Music Awards. And the Dominica Music Awards is a special award ceremony where we actually honoring the best of the best in Dominica. We're excited to invite every single Dominican, every single company to become part of this particular award ceremony carried for May 17th. May 17th, and it's very important that musicians, artists, gone are the days when we would actually believe that it is sort of unproductive to be a musician. We have seen what it has done for other islands. We have seen what it has done for Jamaica in particular, what it has done for the United States in terms of the economy, boosting the economy. Of late, we saw what it did for Dominica. Just recently, we participated in our carnival season, and the music was one of the major components which got, thousands of people to really flock our beautiful nature area. So once again, music is integral in building an industry. Music is very important in building a nation. And guess what? We have everything else, but it's what we need when we are stressed. Music. What we need when we are down and trodden. Music. What we need when even we are just rejoicing. Music. Even at the funeral. Music. Even at baptism. Music. These are the technocrats. Their skill is making, producing, writing, arranging music. And that's why it's important that Creole Heartbeat feel it's important to actually recognize those technocrats. We have several categories. In fact, we have 25 categories. This year, we'll be awarding major components in the Dominica Music Awards ceremony. And we want you to be part of it. We want you to actually go out there and nominate. For instance, Richie is an artist, and he is a Dominican. By the way, you must be a Dominican either by birth, naturalization, or you have Dominican parents. So it's or you don't have to be residing in Dominica. So it's a Dominica thing. It's where we actually, bringing the island closer. That's where we actually transporting the island to a different level. We're looking for new production. We're looking for an increase in production, an increase in production quality, and that our music can truly be exemplary. We are very fortunate to have made two genres, and I always remind myself, per capita, possibly the only island in the Caribbean, just 70,000 strong. And we created two genres. Several other islands haven't created one, but we are very fortunate. And in case you're wondering, Kadans-lypso created by Gordon Anderson, Exile One, and Fitzroy Williams, Vivian Wallace, Julie Morrill, his brothers. And as we speak, the official funeral for Fitzroy Williams will be held next week, Saturday. So that's next week, Saturday, the late Fitzroy Williams, one of the creators of Kadans-lypso music. He will be laid to rest next week, Saturday, 10 a.m. at the cathedral. First of all, the Mass at the chapel, and then the Roman Catholic Cemetery. So Fitzroy Williams, those who are possibly wanting to make arrangements to attend the funeral of the late, iconic, the legendary, the one who has actually cremated his name into the history books of not only Kadans-lypso, but music in general. Fitzroy Williams the late, he passed away on the 9th of this month, and he will be laid to rest next week, Saturday, and that's 10 a.m. at the Cathedral Chapel. So once again, like we said, we were just speaking about the creation of Dominica's Kadans-lypso music. He was very involved in that particular creation, and they produced a sound. And very interestingly, for those who may not know, just a little history lesson. Before 1973, Dominica had bands like the Swinging Teens and Swinging Stars and several other bands, but to those who actually made recordings, the Boys and Them, and one would remember the Gaylords Power Union, one of the most potent band ever from Dominica in terms of stage antics, in terms of showmanship. They really excelled with the two-time Calypso monarch of Dominica at the helm. That is Greg Bricker, was also a Calypsonian and possibly one of the greatest frontmen ever from Dominica. And then Kadans-lypso came to the fore with these brothers. They were actually playing in Paris once, and Gordon and also Fitzroy recall that while playing, they were actually playing to a packed audience in Paris. The people were enjoying the music, but the promoter, the producer of the event, told them that they brought people together to dance. So the music of the day was creolarized. So the normal repertoire of the Brothers Exile One, the music was then creolarized, and this was the birth of Kadans-lypso, where the brothers fused Haitian compa music with calypso and some indigenous spices from Dominica, and that was the birth of Kadans-lypso just around 1973, 1974. Exile One created that particular genre. We would have seen several bands springing up right after and playing the music. Even some of the bands who actually created before Exile One actually jump on board, realize this is something unique, this is something special from the Nature Island. We want to remember Gramax and Bilomen and Wafrikai, Smoke, Liquid Dice, Black Affairs, Black Roots, Black Machine. You had Emphasis later on. You had bands like from Maho, just across the Bells Combo. You had Wax Power, Vibrations, also from Meru Environment. We also had B Blood, that is Black Blood from the Portersville area, and very unique. All of these bands produce a different sound. Kadans-lypso was at the helm of Dominica's music, and unique brand of music, which actually brought Dominica's name to the four corners of the globe. As we know, seeing Jerry Williams entering now. But what happened to Kadans-lypso back then is Dominica's music, for the first time, we created something that belonged to Dominica. So yes, we played the spooge of the day, we played the Motown of the day, the ska during those days, that is prior to reggae music. But then Dominica now had their own sound, their own genre. And then we would later see several offsprings of that genre, including Zouk, because the French Antilles actually developed Zouk very importantly. And we would later see even Bouillon. And we would have heard from Cornel Fingers Philip, their foundation was Kadans-lypso with some cultural and traditional elements from Dominica to create bouillon music. We'd also see soca, another offspring of Kadans-lypso music. So you can see the whole connection. But in times you have seen an overpouring and overwhelming production of music. Let's say good morning to Jerry Williams. Good morning to you, Jerry.
Good morning, Wadix. Morning, coming all the way from the northeast.
Yes, on a Friday it can be very tough.
Yes, I do.
And normally on a Friday to commute into the city, you have to give yourself at least a minimum of an hour allowance.
Definitely.
And that's just how it is on a Friday, especially if you're coming from the north. You will always, or 90%, 99% of the times, get a traffic jam in the Mao and most times in the Canefield area. But what's up with you, my friend?
I'm there. Just here with you promoting the Dominican Music Awards and encouraging persons to nominate so we can have a very successful award.
We are now live on the big station, that's Q95 FM. Listen to globally, fans and friends listening from Africa to the North and South America, Latin America. You go way across to Australia. Everyone is listening to the big station. Let's give them an idea of the Dominica Music Awards, brief history on the awards.
Okay, we did the awards during the pandemic, during the COVID time. So there was a lot of restriction in regards to what we did at that time. But when we decided to conceptualize the music awards, we felt that during that time there was a lot of music being produced, and we felt that it was important to honor the musicians, because to produce music around that time when you don't know really what the future holds, is something exceptional. And during the last music award, we had Carlin XP, who dominated most of the categories, and we would know why, because during that time, that was when she was doing her virtual event. And so it's only fitting that she would have been the one who would have dominated at that time.
This particular awards, we have been hearing of various awards around the region and even globally. We're hearing of the American awards, even Canadian awards. I was just getting some history on the Canadian awards, and our own Lazo was once nominated for a particular award in Canada. So Dominica's music going far and wide, and that's why Creole Heartbeat is there to get our listeners, get our viewers. By the way, we are also live on QFM Q95 Facebook page in case you want to get a view of us and follow us and follow the information about the Dominican Music Awards. How important is such an awards for the music industry, the cultural industries in Dominica?
It's important because, as you just mentioned, there are awards outside of Dominica, and then we have just seen Ridge getting Booyah Artist of the Year, Asa Banton the People's Choice Award. I think that's most
And the
influential
Caribbean
at the
Awards,
Caribbean Awards, and
which
so
was primarily dominated, we must say, by the Jamaicans, the Haitians, and even Trinidadians.
yes, so it's important that we create such an award so that our musicians or artists can start to craft their skills in a way that it also not entertain Dominicans, but it has an opportunity to make a mark in the region and make a mark globally.
Absolutely. Nominations for this particular awards are now open.
The nominations have been open since March 5th. It closes on March 31st, which is on Monday. And then we're here just encouraging persons to nominate. Artists, you can nominate yourself. Fans, you can nominate the songs that you figure is the best. After the nomination is completed, we go into the voting process where the fans, the public has an opportunity to vote for who they figure is the winner of the different category. We also have a judging section that's going to happen after the fans, weigh in on who they figure is the top.
In terms of content, in terms of the duration, the legibility of the music and the creations, from what time to what time?
Okay, so the music, to be eligible, you have to have produced music from February of 13th of 2024 to March 4th of 2025. And the reason why we're using that time frame is right after Carnival of 2024 and the end of Carnival of 2025. So you would have had the opportunity to create music within that period of time, and basically that is when most of the music comes out. We could have said up until 2024, but then we realized that from leading up to Carnival, that is when most of the music comes out. So you would not want to leave that, out of the whole.
Okay, so you heard it from February 13th, 2024 to March 6th, 2025. Music, all categories, all genres, as long as it's Dominican, you must be a Dominican, and you don't have to reside in Dominica. As long as you're from Dominican parentage, you were born in Dominica, or you were naturalized Dominican, you are part of it. You are eligible. You can vote yourself, or you can nominate yourself, because the voting will start right after we close the nominations. So we are going to close the nominations, and then we're going to select the top three for the voting, or for the second round.
So the second round, the voting would be open for all who were nominated.
All who were nominated.
Yes. So the judges would then select the top three, which we announce the night. But basically, we launch that, and then on the night, the judges would choose who would be the winner, and then we will reveal that on the night of the award.
Okay, Richie, QFM is a major partner, as usual, platinum sponsor of this major awards. I'm going to read some information as to the special tribute to Fitzroy Williams. The memorial for Fitzroy Williams will be next week, Tuesday. So next week, Tuesday, that's April 1st, Harlem Plaza. Next week, Tuesday, a major tribute, a major memorial for the legendary, iconic figure of Fitzroy Williams. So that is next week, Tuesday, Harlem Plaza, just across the Newtown Savannah. You can't afford to miss that. And that will start from 5 p.m. So 5 p.m., a special memorial for Fitzroy. It will be music, speeches, well wishes, those who possibly have poems. And if you feel that you just want to make a contribution or reminisce on how you knew the brother, You are invited next week, Tuesday, and that is the April 1st, 5 p.m., Harlem Plaza. And then the following Saturday, which is the 5th of April, will be the funeral and burial of the late Fitzroy Williams. A big shout out to Za and Freddie and the guys putting everything in place for this activity. One of the things we don't do very good is to honor our ancestors, honor those who actually have done well, have been brilliant, have excelled. And that's one of the things that will be taking place this coming Tuesday, the 1st of April, a memorial on behalf of the late Fitzroy Williams. Okay, so Jerry, let's remind our listeners and viewers that this award ceremony, this major award ceremony, the 2025 Dominica Music Awards, is partnered and sponsored and platinum sponsored by the big station Q95 FM. Do we have it, Richie? Do we have it, producer? Let's allow our listeners to hear and to remind them of the work that QFM is doing to really bring up the arts and culture in Dominica. Dominica, something big is coming. The countdown begins to celebrate the heartbeat of Dominica, our music, our legends, our rising stars. May 17th, 2025. Mark your calendars and save the date for Dominica Music Awards of 2025. Presented by Ambassador Prince Radix and Creole Heartbeat. Partners, QFM, the big station. Are you ready? More importantly, welcome back. I just heard my twin brother Samuel on the line. I just my twin brother Wadix too Samuel on the line. I getting some feedbacks onto my brother, but I got the information, my brother. So that's big up in a special way to Q95 FM. And Jerry, we must big up. We send letters across to the various media houses, and instantly, immediately, Mr. Gregor and the team, the management team, Nikita, Sherwin, Mr. Sheridan Gregor, hop on board, realize this is a thing that is going to pilot Dominica's arts and culture, and they continue to be an integral part of promoting Dominica as the best, the greatest place in the world to play music, to enjoy music, and to live and have a wonderful time. So we have to big up QFM
Definitely.
and the management, and staff of Q95 FM. So once again, Jerry, we have several genres to be covered. As a matter of fact, every single genre played by a Dominican will be covered.
Definitely. And then we started with the Booyah Artist of the Year. That is basically what is trending now. And this is what we're trying. We're recognizing the outstanding achievements in Booyah music. Again, guys, you can nominate. We saw what Booyah has done over the years, especially in recent time in regards to the carnival, how it has penetrated the Trinidad market, as they would say, the mecca of soca, the mecca of carnival, and our music has basically penetrated the mecca of carnival, and also we're seeing it spreading outside of Dominica. On the YouTube, social media, we're seeing Booyah taking Dominica to the next level, exporting the music itself.
I believe that part of the major influx of people with Suffolk Carnival is because of the spiraling of the Booyah music. We have been seeing, quite a bit of some of the songs have been, clocking million plus views. The song by Trilogy and Kwan, over 6 million views and counting. And we saw a collection, a catalog of Bouillon hits over the carnival season. And once again, to my mind, apart from the promotion that is been done by DDA, DFC to get people to come into Dominica, it was one of our better years in terms of visitor arrivals. But I think one of the greatest things that we can actually boast of for that particular influx of people is the Bouillon music. So that's one of the awards, Bouillon Artist of the Year. Another award, Jerry.
Kadans-lypso Artist of the Year.
Kadans-lypso Artist of the Year. And like we told you a while ago, Kadans-lypso is Dominica's first international music, created 1973-1974 by, once again, Gordon Henderson, Fitzroy Williams, Vivian Wallace, Truly Maury Law, Pat Patrice, and the rest of the brothers. Created Dominica's first indigenous international genre. This is a phenomenal feat for Dominica. As a matter of fact, if there was never a Kadans-lypso created, we would not have had the authenticity to say we have a World Creole Music Festival. And this is so correct, Jerry. What Kadans-lypso did is it brought Dominica's name to the four corners of the globe. It brought Dominica's name far and wide. It changed the mindset of people. It allowed people, even in the Eastern Caribbean, to understand that, yes, despite your numbers, despite your population, if you have creative energies, you can do something and you can do something wonderful. And God has given us the talented brothers. If you listen to Kadans-lypso music, you will hear several variations of Kadans-lypso music. Gramax will sound different from Exile. Exile will sound different from Midnight Groovers. La Grande Dame Ophelia. By the way, happy birthday, Ophelia. Happy birthday to La Grande Dame de la Chanson Antillaise. She sent me a lovely message, I think yesterday, about some new Kadans-lypso music that is outgoing because she's, that's a 40. Mm-hmm. But what Kadas did for Dominica, it gave us that authenticity. And for those who may not know the history, the eventual World Creole Music Festival was thought of as a Kadas festival first. And it was felt that it may not have enough activity. And then later it evolved into the World Creole Music Festival. But if Dominica never had a Kadans-lypso or never created that genre, we would not have had the authenticity possible of another jazz like the St. Lucia and another world festival like possibly St. Kitts. But we have something indigenous. We have something unique. And most importantly, Creole. And we'll get into Creole a little later on. What other genre we have?
Even before you go into the other genre, I just want to add to what you're saying about Kadans-lypso. It's basically the root of our music. And then we always have to nourish it. We always have to honor it, whether or not it's not being produced like how it was in the past. But it's something that we have to always pay homage, pay respect to, because that is where our music, as you just said, went global. And from that, emerged the booyah itself. The next category is the gospel artist of the year.
Very, very important because, like I said, on several occasions, you have to have, Dominica is so unique and it's so vibrant and so versatile that, yes, we have the hard driving bouillon and calypso during carnival times, but very importantly, lots of gospel artists made it big time. I'm not sure if you heard of a guy called Xavier Foster. And Xavier Foster was one of the most prolific gospel singers in Martinique. As a matter of fact, he's the father of Little Boy. Okay. You see the same Little Boy for the Bouillon? Yeah. Right. His father was a prolific gospel artist in Martinique. He was also a preacher. And he must have made over a dozen albums, and that's how prolific. And then we also know of Jerry Lloyd. But very importantly, there's a gospel festival every year at Christmas time organized by Ken Robinson, and brand new music is out. So for the past, for Christmas, we know for sure that quite a bit of gospel music, brand new gospel music was out and hopefully played. As a matter of fact, we invited them on Creole Heartbeat to expose that particular festival sometime last year. So Gospel Award of the Year, once again, if you are in that realm, spiritual, healing, therapeutic realm, you can award or you can nominate the particular artist. How can folks nominate the particular genre and the particular artist?
Okay, so basically you can go on our Facebook page, the Creole Heartbeat Facebook page. There is the link, the QR code that you can scan. Persons who may not want to go on the link or cannot access the link, you can email us at creoleheartbeat@gmail.com, or you can also on the page itself nominate artists that you figure should be in the different categories.
Okay, fantastic. Next award,
the Soca Artist of the Year.
Soca Artist of the World. Well, of the year, we know we have had quite a bit of soca artists, quite a bit of soca music. Very a genre very close to let's say bouillon music. Or groovy bouillon, and we have seen how potent it is around the Caribbean. We saw collabos with several artists from Dominica. We also saw Marshall Montano working with Dada to create a mega hit, and the influence of the conch shell in that mega hit. Once again, it's very important to actually understand the relationship of Caribbean music. Closely related but distinct. and that's we'll be awarding the Soca Artist of the Year.
Even to go further back, as Shorty, came to Dominica, and the story of him.
Yes, Udi Mweu Piti
Tablet.
Shoti. He made a sound. And by the way, Gordon Henderson is presently working on a documentary, and when we get the truth and the facts about this particular genre, soca, they call it all kind of names, but the major influence, if you knew Calypso before Kadans-lypso, you would know it was a completely different genre. And so you can feel the influence. When Lord Shorty came to Dominica, he resided at the Astor Hotel, that is just around where the Venezuelans have their place on straight close to DBS Radio, and they were playing at Fortune Hotel. He visited them at Fortune Hotel. He heard the vibes of Exile One, and that groove that captured him, it captivated him. And guess what? Spoke to Tokyo and Chris Seraphine and I think Dennis Joseph. And guess what? Soca was born. They may say other things about all kind of other things, but we know better. What other category?
Calypso Artist of the Year.
Oh, well, we had an influx of Calypso, and we just came from a major Calypso season where a lady actually won. We saw quite a bit of history history taking place in terms of how many 6 monarchs at the finals. It hasn't happened for a while. First time 4 women into the finals. It's the second time a woman is actually winning the crown in almost 60 years of Calypso music from Dominica. So it was a tremendous feat. Lots of new music. And we'll be looking for what part of Calypso? The Calypso Artist of the Year. From that.
And then we have the Hip Hop Artist of the Year.
Get into that one, Jerry, and tell our listeners about this award.
All right, so persons may say, but what Dominica have to do with hip hop? But we do have local artists who are dabbling or creating hip hop music. And it's something that we figure we need to honor. As Wadik said earlier, it's open not only for Dominicans living in Dominica, but if you're Dominican, you have Dominican heritage, it's open for you. There are a few Dominican artists out in the US who have produced hip hop, and we felt that we need to create that genre to that category, so they are eligible as well to be nominated. And just imagine they embrace it in the music award, what it would also do for our music platform in Dominica.
Okay, the next award would
Jazz
be Jazz and Blues.
And
very importantly, just in the next couple of weeks, we'll be having the Jazz and Creole. And it's another platform. We know that Dominica lends itself to all types of genres, all types of music. I think that's what makes Dominica unique. And then when you fuse some of those, you get a unique blend. We saw several collabos in terms of the fusing or the fusion of music from R&B to bouillon or bouillon R&B. We saw bouillon love. We call it bouillon gopel. There was another kind of bouillon I didn't really like, but then all kind of fusion taking place. But then most importantly, Jazz and Creole is a platform where we actually want to highlight those who may more be jazzy, more instrumental friendly. We know there's an activity taking place every Tuesday in the heart of the city. So we want to encourage artists who actually perform jazz music to be part of these awards.
And then we have the Dancehall Reggae Artist of the Year.
I mean, this is another prolific genre or 2 genres. Dancehall Reggae, we know of the Nacios, we know of, and like I told you, Lazo was once nominated for the Caribbean, which is like the closest to the Grammys. And our Dominican, and Lazo was nominated for this particular award. That is the level we're trying to reach. We're starting now and we want to reach to the Grammys, Dominica Grammys. Who knows, we may just change the name to the Dominica Grammys if we can borrow that particular name. But we leave it still at the Dominica Music Awards. Dancehall, reggae, those who play that music, you must have your material recorded between February 13th, 2024 and March 4th, 2025. Next category.
Compa Zouk.
After all, well, we have a World Creole Music Festival, and this is the foundation, like we said a while ago. Creole music, one big family, Haitian compa music, Zouk from the French Antilles. And once again, we're encouraging those who may be Creole friendly to produce music, produce all types of music, and those who actually are involved will be eligible. So we're having the Compa Zouk Award.
Yes.
So we know of brand new music from several artists, including the Ecstasy Band, who have continued to. As a matter of fact, they have a young lady They have actually incorporated that. They took her from calypso, bring her into compa, and sounding better in compa than calypso. But once again, all the genres are interrelated because compa was the foundation of Kadans-lypso. Compa plus calypso created Kadans-lypso. So once again, and then Kadans-lypso, from Kadans-lypso, created Zouk, an offspring of Kadans-lypso. So this is one of the areas we are awarding. Next area,
album of the year.
Talk about this one, Jerry.
So basically, we know of bands and some musicians who have produced it, more than one song and compiling it. Also, we understand to be on the World Creole Music Festival stage, you have to have numerous or more amount of music so that you are able to create a set. And so we're encouraging persons to not only just do one song, but be in the studio, create a catalog of music. It's only going to help your craft.
And we saw this year, I mean, quite a bit of the albums made several songs. Some of the band, sorry, and even artists made several songs. We saw several songs from TK, from Ace Banton, from Signal Band. I mean, I've been just belting songs, and even for some of the solo artists, they made several songs. Mm-hmm. So the album, all the songs put together in a catalog, they will be judged against each other. Next category,
collaboration of the year.
Talk about this one, Jerry.
Okay, so recognize the best collaborative effort between artists, judge on chemistry, innovation, and commercial or cultural success. And as we have seen in this recent carnival, there were very impactful collabs. We spoke about the song with Trilogy, Quan, Little Boy. You still have another collab with Signal, with Shelly, Trilogy, and Skinny Fabulous from St. Vincent. Back then, you saw the collab, which is a Booyah collab with Marshall. So you're seeing more of artists coming together to create quality music. So we want to encourage that. We just don't want to have them in the whole. You can still get Booyah Artist of the Year, but we also want to encourage that form of producing music.
And by the way, in case you want to nominate any of your favorite bands or artists, you could do so. Richie, as a matter of fact, the number is right here. You could call us at 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. In case you want to just nominate any of your artists you feel in whatever category, you are free to do so. Or you could actually send us a message on where, Jerry?
On Creole Heartbeat Facebook page.
So you can call us live if you feel like you want to nominate. Right now, we'll take the information because we are closing nominations on the 1st of April.
Good.
And we also want to remind you that next week, Tuesday, is a massive memorial for the late Fitzroy Williams at the Harlem Plaza. Be part of this experience. It's something that we should really try to be there in the memory of one who has excelled in Dominica's music. Next category.
The music video of the year.
We have seen quite a bit of videos, and really, I think that has really transformed Dominica's music to a different level. Has really brought Dominica's music upscale by, let's say, how many notches now? Because most of the artists, we have our first caller. Let's take over. Okay, most of the artists, what they are doing now, they are accompanying the music with the videos and bringing out done so much for them, especially for the social media platform. And we want to honor those who have done videos. And let's take our call. Richie. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat. We're talking the Dominica Music Awards. Would you like to nominate any artists from Dominica?
Yes, good morning. I'm Walik, and I'm the members of the panel today. This is the Energizer. I have R&B music. I have calypso. I have a wide range of music with different genre. So how do I get to put my music on to you guys so I can be part of this scenario?
All right, you can email it to creoleheartbeat@gmail.com.
Oh, okay, then I'll do that. Thank you very much.
And then you can, but then you Energizer would have to actually specify the category and the name of the song in the particular category.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, voila, and then allow your fans and friends from the the Commonwealth of Bowie to vote. Okay, my brother, that's the energizer. So we were talking about the video. I mean, we have seen what the videos have done for several of the artists. As a matter of fact, it's a video that the guys put out. That's Quan, Little Boy, and Trilogy that amassed over 6 million views. And video accompanying their music those days. Social media lights up, it erupts, and it all augurs well. So we'll be awarding the video of the year. Next.
The producer of the year, 2 categories. Within the producer of the year, you have the producer of Calypso, the producer of Bouillon.
I mean, lots of guys put their dollars behind the music scene. You may be hearing of artists actually rendering, performing, singing the songs, but there are guys actually producing the sounds. We know of, for instance, let's take, for example, the Monarch. The reigning monarch, Joy, we know that Hunter produced the stuff, that sort of thing. So what we're doing is honoring those behind the scenes, doing the work, putting the necessary financial arrangement in place. So we are making sure they are also part and will be included as the producer of the year. By the way, Richie, let's remind them that the big station, Q95 FM, is part of this major awards as a platinum sponsor. Why you say me now? Dominica, something big is coming. The countdown begins to celebrate the heartbeat of Dominica, our music, our legends, our rising stars. May 17th, 2025. Mark your calendars and save the date for Dominica Music Awards 2025. Presented by Ambassador Prince Radix and Creole Heartbeat. Partners, QFM Station. Are you ready?
Yes.
Voilà, messieurs, mesdames, ou bien Montano, that's my twin brother. So we were speaking now basically of the producer of the year, and we have Calypso and Bouillon. Yes. So both Calypso and Bouillon, so that will be two awards, the producer of Calypso and the producer of Bouillon Music. Also the songwriter of the year, once again, several songwriters have been behind the scenes. You have been hearing people performing, whether it's Calypso, whether it's Bouillon, whether it's reggae, but there are people actually penning the songs, putting the songs together. And we're asking you to nominate these people for any category that produces whatever genre that Dominica musicians are producing. Once again, the production or the content must be created between March 13th of 2024 and April 4th, 2025. So let's run through the other awards. Songwriter of the Year, and we know of several Calypso writers. Ian Jackson, the legendary Pat Aaron. Hope you're feeling much better today, my friend. Take care. We saw Tasha P writing for herself. We saw Hunter, now a major writer. He normally used to write most of the songs for himself. We saw Shelly coming to the fore, doing his trilogy himself, actually writing for the Junior Monarch. And the list goes on and on and on. Okay, we now have this is a big one.
The male and the female artist of the year, and then we have the junior and senior category.
Okay, so the male and female artists of the year, you know yourselves, those doing the work in the male category and those doing the work in the female category. We saw a lovely collabo between the ladies, and we have seen the production, and we have to remind you, it's not just Bouillon or Calypso. Any genre that has been produced by a Dominican within the period of March 13th, 2024 and April and February 13th, that is 2024, and March 4th, 2025. So once again, male and female artists of the year, and we have two artists we'll be awarding.
Yes,
a junior artist and a senior artist. So we know of the junior Bouillon Calypso Monarch. We'll be selecting from those in the junior section, and then we know of the other artists in the various categories. Band of the Year, Jerry.
Band of the Year awarded to the best performing musical band that has demonstrated exceptional talent, cohesion, and audience appeal.
Will Carnival 2025 be part of this experience?
Yes, most definitely.
What will the judges be looking for?
Basically, the impact of the band at the various events on the road itself, that's going to play a big thing, a big role in selecting the band of the year, because we see the public going after who they figure would be the best band, who has the best sound, who pull the most people on the road. Also, international performances as well, that plays a very big role in recognizing who is the band of the year.
Okay, social media influencer of the year. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, honoring a digital content creator who has effectively promoted music, engaged audiences, and influenced trends through online performance. We felt that also influencers are very important in the music industry, the creative industry. They help people to come to Dominica. And so we felt that we have to create a category to honor these individuals, because they play a key role in persons consuming the music.
I live in the next for a little while. We'll get back to it in a while. But Musician of the Year award.
Musician of the year. Okay, this is given to the individuals who play the instrument. Not only the drums, the guitars, the keyboardists, but again the conch shell, the lapo cabrit. All these persons are eligible to be nominated for musician of the year.
Sound engineer of the year, and that's a very critical one.
And again, that goes to events, how clean the sound is. The Calypso show, the various fets on the road. That is very critical. How clean your sound is on the road itself. So that is something that we figure we need to honor. By honoring that, it also helps with the quality of the music.
Absolutely. By sound engineer is very critical, can either make or break a performance. For those who don't know, if you have a bad sound, your ability to play will not really resonate with your audience as much as if the sound is clean, stereophonic, and the people can feel it differently, can hear everything, can hear the guitar, can hear the various instruments, and in particular the vocals. It's night and day with a good and bad sound. So sound engineering is a major award. Also the manager of the year.
The manager of the year. Again, this is very critical in music. If you realize the most successful artists, the most successful bands have quality manager, is getting up in the morning to fly to one island, perform, sound check, then go back to the hotel, or even not go back to the hotel, fly to the next island, sound check and perform. And you need somebody to ensure that everything is in place, your accommodation, your flights, and everything. And that is very important.
I think the business aspect, even the booking of your various activities, not to overbook. Because if you, let's say, every member of the band is booking, you may have people duplicated bookings. So then when you have a particular manager managing the affairs of the band, it makes it easier. They can make decisions, they can negotiate on behalf of the band and make sure they accommodate the best facility, the best arrangements for their band. So manager of the year, videographer, and photographer of the year.
Again, this is very important. We not only see the videos that are being produced, but the quality of the pictures. We have a lot of young photographers, videographers plying their trade on the island, and we felt that we need to recognize these individuals in regards to their work, because if we don't see, if we don't hear, like visualize what's going on, it doesn't entice you to
Yeah,
want to go.
because very importantly, Jerry, the images are produced, are created, and then some people may just, because it's also important to understand that some of those creations are copyrights, and you may see things you may like and you can't just take it and do whatever you want with it. But then what we're doing is giving those young entrepreneurs, those young skilled videographers who do their magic, and based on their versatility in technology can create than the ordinary person, better than the ordinary person, an opportunity to be awarded.
Even to add to that, as simple as the quality of the photo, how good, let's say, the costume, the
Sells
within their costume,
its value.
It trickles down to the gym making the money, because next year this other person may visualize, I want to look like that, or I want to be in that particular band. So the picture itself is very valuable for the creative industry.
Absolutely. Also, sponsor of the year, and that is where we're looking for those who actually partner with the various events. Lots of people put their value, put their money, behind various events. QFM is one of those, and you can actually nominate QFM as a sponsor. QFM never lets down culture, never lets down, let's say, music, entertainment, among several other things. So, Richie, you can encourage your fans and friends to nominate QFM as a sponsor, because here is it. You may not be able to get possibly, let's say, the tax evasions and that sort of thing, but you put your resources, you put your money, your resources behind certain projects. And here is it that we are giving an opportunity to those who are doing so because it's valuable. You sell airtime, you're allowing, people to come and speak their mind. You sponsor time. We are giving an opportunity. You have a few dollars extra. You are actually putting it into the carnival, into the various fetes, into all the different activities. You are eligible. So business places who continue to do so, who have been doing so, and who did so generously within the period of February 13th, 2024 to March 4th, 2025, you are all eligible. Event of the year.
The event of the year recognizing the most impactful and well executed music related events, judged on the production quality, the audience engagement, and overall contribution to the music industry.
DJ of the year, and this is the one I left for last. So that's going to be all DJs in Dominica.
Yes.
All DJs from
Recognizing
Dominica, living in Dominica, from Dominica, Dominican parentage, born in Dominica, or otherwise naturalized Dominican. You are all eligible, and we have been seeing an influx of all kind of DJs.
So your
Radio
mixes,
DJs.
your live performances, your international gigs, all that falls within the judging criteria, because we realize that the DJs are also holding down the fets, holding down the events.
Some DJs actually having their own production, their own mixes and views on social media.
Yep.
All that is also very important. Sponsorship, Jerry.
Yes, so we're appealing to the public to come out and support what we're doing. Again, it's an effort to develop the creative industry, to help shine light on the creative industry, to have persons realize that it's not just zero, because the creative industry helps every sector of society in regards to the economy. So we are appealing to sponsors to come on board. We have the title sponsor opportunity, the gold sponsor, the platinum sponsor, silver, and bronze. And also you can simply sponsor a category. We have 25 categories in 2025. So you can decide, okay, I want to be the sponsor of the Booyah Artist of the Year, or another.
So the businesses have an opportunity to sponsor the various categories. For let's take Kadans-lypso Artist of the Year. Let's say Richie as an entrepreneur can decide he wants to sponsor the Kadans-lypso on the night of that particular, among several other advantages and benefits you'll get from the sponsorship. But on the night when the award is presented, you will be in the Richie Farrell Kadans-lypso Artist of the Year award. Goes to Mafia Spelte Jr. Okay, but very importantly, we are appealing to the mercantile community, those who understand how important music. Gone are the days when music was seen as people who are lazy or non-productive. God has made us in a unique way where some are the skill sets are in different occupations. And music is an integral part. Just try to imagine life without music. I don't think people would survive. I think half of the life that we actually live in, we would have died before. And that's how music is important. It is also called the fruit of life.
Music is a companion as well.
Exactly, man. And that's where we felt it was very important to honor musical excellence, originality, the impact, considering factors of songwriting, composing, performance, audio quality. We feel it's important that you put so much effort into this to get your craft to a particular level. And what we're trying to do is to award you, tell you thank you for what you have done, and at the same time bringing Dominica's name to the fore, bringing Dominica's name far and wide in your ability, in your God-given talents. So we first of all want to award you for that particular innovation and creation of whatever content. And secondly, we want those looking at those who are actually following or looking at you as a role model, trying to emulate you, to encourage them, to produce, to encourage them to continue to produce quality material. And at the end of the day, we want whatever comes from Dominica is premium quality. Whatever comes from Dominica, we are truly happy and excited, elated about our production. Just remember the days of when we were a truly agricultural, mecca, when the banana was big, man. When you hear for the World Creole Music Edition and the folks are going back, how happy they are, how satisfied they are. Dominica's name, just see how proud we were when Fia Lafo won the gold, and that's the similarity with what music and sports does. We have seen what it has done for Jamaica. We have seen what it has done for the other Caribbean islands. If there was never a Mali, possibly Jamaica would still be, people would be wondering where Jamaica is. If there was never Usain Bolt, people would still be wondering where Jamaica is. We go on at the days when people would have to think of Dominica as, let's say, Dominican Republic. We have an opportunity to do so in music. Several of the artists, including Issa Banton, said that music, Bouillon music in particular, is the biggest export that Dominica is producing. And I think the time has come for us to recognize the efforts of those who are blessed with these creative talents and put them on a pinnacle, on a stage, on a platform where we can honor the brilliance, honor the excellence. Et puis, moi, quand je dis ça, vite, ma pousse qu'on va quitter la musique, mesdames, tous ces monde là, tous ces artistes là, musiciens, ces monde là qui a dans la musique, messieurs, mesdames, nous, quand ils ont voter après ça. Et puis, voter, you can say it in English, Jerry, when I come to you. Voter après ça, qui côté on a voté, dis yo, Jerry, dis yo, vous avez
Ask person to vote, encouraging you to vote. When the voting time comes, nominate. And what it just put me on the spot to speak Creole, but
no, you can speak in English, pas de problème. Monsieur, mesdames, ça nous a fait, c'est mon là qui a pour devant faire bonne musique pour la Dominique, monsieur, bon caïsou, bon gospel, musique spirituelle, monsieur, bon reggae, bon dancehall, bon Kadans-lypso, tout ça. Donc, à élever, nous a fait ça, nous mettons activité ensemble pour faire ça, nous premièrement, nous respecter yo pour ça, nous a fait pour la Dominique. Et puis, nous a honoré yo parce que ça, nous a fait pour la Dominique, c'est élever la Dominique. Fait tout le monde, la terre connaître contre Dominique. Et ça est important pour nous faire, parce que si nous ne pas faire ça, qui monde qui va faire ça pour nous? Si nous ne pas élever ça, qui ça nous? Si nous ne pas faire tout le monde connaître Dominique, c'est plus meilleure place. Qui monde qui va faire ça pour nous? C'est le CP qui va faire ça pour nous. Antique qui va faire ça pour nous. C'est nous qui dit pour faire ça. C'est beaucoup de cadeaux, tout le monde, messieurs, mesdames. À moi, c'est Gouan Award, ça là, messieurs, l'on est ça nous a fait pour faire ça, tout musicien. Et dernièrement, nous avons remercié. Grand famille, grand fraternité QFM. Nous avons remercié M. Grégoire, ça c'est un homme créole même. Nous avons remercié Nikita, tous ces différents man, Showin, Richie, Matt, tout yo, pour ça, nous avons fait pour culture la Dominique, pas politique seulement, mais culture la Dominique, pour élever. Parce qu'on canot qui coule, pas qu'à pêcher d'autres navigés, messieurs, mesdames. C'est grande nuit qui a appelé sac nuit. Richie, until next week, Friday. I just want to wish and pray to you that the Father continue to bless you and bless those listening and viewing to us live, and may the productivity of this wonderful institution be multiplied in fortunes to come for everyone to have a wonderful celebration of life and liberty in Dominica. Let's see. All right.
For only one as you done for us, son. Spreading the culture all over the world. For only good things that you done for God, that's why
Dominica, something big is coming. The countdown begins to celebrate the heartbeat of Dominica, our music, our legends, our rising stars. May 17th, 2025. Mark your calendars and save the date for Dominica Music Awards 2025. Presented by Ambassador Prince Radix and Creole Heartbeat. Partners, QFM Mix Station. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Sakaimala. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Papua wete ba moun plen la yo moja kite la vi. Appreciye sa yo kape kon yo apami nou jodi. La te moge ba le bien non nou ka konsipe moun evi. Pour nous connaître, pour nous fait pour nous tout ça bénéfice. For only wonders you done for us all, spreading the culture all over the world. For all the good things that you done for God, that's why we continue. We continue, brother. Acha no mundo sou passar que chale yo foi we busy. Go no connect why you are kuma smarter than music. All the men that don't fix right billion see you. Vivian Morris exact one who first check you. You pass it to the boy and get music move. Mais attends, je ne sais qui la j'ai. Si pas te va dire qui a poussé. For only wonders you done for us all, spreading the culture all over.